I am Rashawn McDonald, the host of Money Making Conversation Masterclass, where we encourage people to stop reading other people's success stories and start planning their own. Join us as we travel across the country, visiting small businesses and interviewing celebrities to see how they're running their companies and nonprofits who are making a difference in their local communities. Now sit back and watch as we unlock the secrets to their success. Hi, I'm Rashawn McDonald. I host this Money Making Conversation Masterclass show. The interviews and information that this show provides are for everyone. It's time to stop reading other people's success stories and start living your own. For decades, my guest has used her celebrity platform for mentoring, lecturing, giving concerts, and donating her time and talents to causes across America and abroad on behalf of organizations such as UNICEF, UNCF, Congressional Black Caucus Against HIV/AIDS, and American Heart Association. She is amazing. She really is. In addition to her acting, she lends her voice work on such shows as Star Trek Lower Decks, and she currently lends her voice to reoccurring characters on The Simpsons and Futurama. Please welcome to Money Making Conversation Masterclass, the iconic and very, very funny Dawnn Lewis. How you doing, Dawnn?
Oh, I'm great.
Or should I say Tina Turner Mama?
Tina Turner Mama, Dr. Dawnn, whatever comes to mind. Whatever comes to mind.
Because that's the last time we talked. You was on Broadway, Tina Turner Mama, doing your thing, and you see you having a great time. But thank you for coming on the show, first of all.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Now, you know, I go back with you. We're not talking about television. When we first kind of met, I was managing Steve Harvey. You came into the radio studio.
Right.
You was doing music. You was singing. Right. So you had all these different layers in your life, you know, actress, singer, voiceover work, activist, philanthropist. Let's start talking about dicing up these different levels. Okay, what came first, acting or singing?
Between the two of those, singing came first. But between singing and acting was dancing. So I started singing at 4, dancing at 7, acting at 11. And I've been doing all three professionally since I was about 10 years old.
So, so you gave me the trifecta right there.
There you go.
Because I didn't even say dancing.
There you go.
The dancing, acting, singing. Okay, so what jumped out first? You know, I would say, there's always a talent that leads the way, and then everybody start recognizing these other skill sets.
It would be singing.
Okay, cool.
So I really thought I was going to be a recording artist. I was lead singer in a band by the time I was 14.
Okay.
I was a songwriter, so my music was getting recorded by other artists. I was a session singer, singing background vocals for different artists, people, everyone from Patrice Rushen to Vanessa Williams. No, not at 14.
Okay.
And that was after I graduated from college. Okay. But before then, I was recording. I had my own single out. Okay. I was charting on Billboard.
Okay, right.
So I was doing shows off and on Broadway. I had done a couple of TV pilots, but none of them had gotten picked up.
Right.
One of them had a release as a special holiday special. It was called The Crummy Movie Show while I was in college. And the movie was so bad, you would turn channels to see the commercials, and we were the quote-unquote commercials, and the little sketches. So when I graduated college, I went back to doing theater off and on Broadway. Then the last Broadway tour I did, and I want to give a shout out because today was the star's birthday who recently passed, Hinton Battle, 3-time Tony Award winner, amazing performer. And that was the Tap Dance Kid with Harold Nicholas of the Nicholas Brothers.
Right.
There you go. Hinton Battle, Ben Harney, the original Curtis from Dreamgirls, Monica Page, and Dule Hill, who was our 10-year-old boy at the time, who is now grown into an amazing actor.
Yes, he is.
So at the time, I was doing that, and then Hinton invited me to sing with him on his first solo album that was produced by Quincy Jones.
Okay.
So I'm doing that. We finished that.
All these great names, just dancing around you.
But that has been my journey. I am so blessed to have been in the company of these amazingly talented people that always encouraged me to do better and be better. And I was always the youngster in the group because I was 16 when I started college.
Right.
So all of this is happening before I'm even 20.
16 when you started college?
When I started college. I left New York. I went to the High School of Music and Art of Fame. Graduated.
Dancing, singing,
doing all of it, and went down to the U and actually started my own degree program. I was singing opera, playing cello, acting, and dancing.
Okay.
So the musical theater degree program that now flourishes at the U, I'm the founder and first graduate.
You know, when I hear a person like you, I remember a couple of times in Hollywood, somebody said, "Rashawn, slow down, you're doing too much." You know, I remember my first agent, he said, "You know, we got to keep you on the train tracks." because you
Yeah.
keep getting off the train tracks. You keep going to do this and that. Did you feel that people were boxing you in, or people told you were doing too many things because you were talented at so many different things?
You know what? When I was coming up, I was always taught you had to be a triple threat
Right.
in order to work in the industry,
Right.
and to survive
Right.
in the industry.
Multiple
Sing,
streams of
dance,
income, basically.
multiple strings, and even if it was just one, doing
Right.
musical theater. When you look back at old movies, almost every major actor you can name sang, danced, and act.
Right.
Everyone from Judy Garland to Frank Sinatra
Right.
to Bing Crosby, Bob Hope, everybody was doing everything. So
Right.
that was what I was always taught the journey was supposed to be. But I actually didn't start getting pigeonholed until I did A Different World. So I moved from live performing into doing now this, what would become.
But that became your most
There
iconic
you go.
role.
I was just going to say, but you talk about when did people start telling you you're doing too much or your skill set is too broad and try to put you in a box. That was when it started, because I went from being able and open to be this multifaceted person to now I'm doing a TV series,
Right.
which ended up being one of the most successful television series
Right.
then and now.
Mm-hmm.
But now now you're just an actress, or you're a
Right.
comedic actress,
Right.
or you're a sitcom actress.
Right.
And then I went from being the youngest to playing the oldest person
Right.
when I was actually younger than a lot of people around me. I was just taller
Right.
than everybody,
How
playing the
tall are
older
you?
person. Huh?
How tall are you?
About 5'7", but I
Okay.
look long. I look
You
taller because I
do.
have long legs.
And these high shoes.
And well, hey, everybody ain't able. So, but that's when people started saying, and when I got cast to do A Different World, the musical director from the Cosby Show also knew me as the singer, songwriter, musician that
Yes.
I
Yes.
am, and he invited me to write the theme song for the show. So that's how I ended up writing the theme song and being cast in the show, because I wasn't in a box yet.
Right.
So I was able to bring both those gifts and blessings to one show,
Right.
and they had no idea they had hired the same person.
Here's the funny part about it. I shouldn't say funny, because, I met you when I knew you as an actress.
Right.
And I remember when you came into the studio. We talking about the studio, Steve Harvey and I was doing a radio show in LA.
Right.
And you was promoting your music.
Right.
And I just looked at you as an actress. I go, oh, she's trying to sing now.
Oh, she's trying to sing now.
Right,
And
right.
that's what people do.
Right.
I am grateful for the blessing of how people came to know me.
Right.
But it was just one small
That's how I saw you. I'm
aspect
sorry. I
of
said-
but it's okay. You wouldn't be the first. So there were some people who only know me as a singer
Right.
and a musician who are wondering, how come you don't sing more? But that's how the journey has gone. So now I still do concerts. I still compose. I received the honor of being inducted into the Women's Songwriters Hall of Fame alongside people like Valerie Simpson, Bunny Hull, Mary Carpenter Chapin. I mean, it was just an honor.
It's really interesting because, you have that, there's so many blessings that come your way. And sometimes in the world, a lot of your success, you're not seen as a
Right.
writer, as a
Right.
voice person in animation. And then people can go, what you been doing lately?
Are you still working? It's like, yeah, I haven't stopped. So gratefully, it may not have been in front of the camera,
Right.
but it's in so many facets around that allow me to keep being creative. To your point, animation, that's been a beautiful blessing. I've been doing it for more than 30 years.
Animation. Okay, now, I can't do voices.
Yes.
I'm barely doing this show, okay? How? Or can you imitate people, or how do you get into that voice? How did it start?
I don't necessarily imitate people, although
Okay.
I have been hired to do what's called looping.
Okay.
Additional voices for a particular actor that I can sound similar to,
Oh, okay.
that can't come back in to do their own pickups.
Okay.
So they bring me in to do like little
Wow.
additional lines to cover certain actors that
So
I
you
can
get
make
these little
myself
checks-
sound like. There you go. See, hey.
I'm gonna start calling you Money.
Hey,
Dawnn,
come on.
Money
Come on.
Lewis. Okay.
Come on. It's all possible. And I cash every check. Amen. But no, it started when Suzanne DePass of Motown fame and discovering the Jacksons and all of that.
Absolutely.
She was interested in managing me years ago.
Yeah.
And that was before she got big into producing. So she got asked to
Because
executive
she was
produce.
in my life on Sister. That's
There
why
you
she
go.
came into my life.
There
Suzanne
you go.
DePass.
She's a brilliant, and resourceful woman. So she asked me, she got the opportunity to executive produce this new animated series around Kid and Play.
Okay.
So she asked me if
Big
had I
Kid and Play.
Big Kid and Play, the Kid and Play, Chris and Chris. So and asked if I would come and do a voice. So I came and said, all right, well, I've done jingles, I've done all kinds of session work. So this will be my first time doing a TV series. So I just came and imitated my niece, who was a child and talked like this all the time. And I was like, hey, kid, come on, let's go on and do this routine, and it's going to be fun. All right, come on. 5, 6, 7, 8. And that was my first gig. And there aren't very many people of color in the animation world, particularly at that time. So the director was like, who are you? How come I never met you before? And then my name just started getting passed around from gig to gig, director to director. Shows like, Spider-Man, Hulk, She-Hulk, all of it. Batman and Robin. I've been doing voiceovers ever since. For the last 30
this is
some
so
odd years.
funny because that's just one voice. So you just can't come in there and do the same voice for everything.
No.
So how does the casting sessions work when you're doing or you audition? I'm sure you audition for these.
Every now and then, yes.
Okay, excuse me. You sister,
all
bad
good.
sister.
It's all good.
Money. I said money. Okay, Dawnn Money Lewis. Okay, now when you do audition, how does that prep work when you're just dealing with a voice?
When it's just a voice, you get an outline. You get what they call a breakdown of what the character's supposed to be. Is it a 70-year-old? Is it a 70-year-old one woman? Is it a 7-year-old boy?
Right.
Are you East African? Are you British?
Okay.
Are you Caribbean?
Okay.
Are you a monster? Are you an alien? Are you a witch or a warlock? No, seriously. So they give you the written outline, and every now and then they have a visual idea of what the character's going to look like. So you may see an illustration. So when you combine all of that, you sit in your spirit and come up with something that you think would sound coming out of this person's mouth. And then you collaborate with the director and you say, well, what about this voice? I go, no, try it a little higher pitch. Make them sound younger, make them sound older, make them sound broken down. And that's how you put the elements together.
Right. Okay, I'm speaking to Dawnn Lewis, of Different World fame. I've told her myself that when she came and I met her the first time, Steve Harvey and I was on radio, I said, why is this actress trying to be a singer? And I've discovered she was a triple threat prior to being discovered on Different World, and Different World kind of boxed you in. Like people will say that's all you can do.
Because where I'm from, in Bed-Stuy, you are not encouraged to think big and to have big dreams and to dare to think beyond your neighborhood. And I came up in the public school system, so there weren't any special charters or scholarships or, inordinate amounts of money being funded into me. Like when I wrote the theme song for A Different World, like I said, I was 16 when I left home. So all I was armed with was what I was taught in my house, was what my mom instilled in me. And, truth be told, as a teenager coming up, all it did was irritate me. And that was one of the reasons why I needed to get out of the house. But now you're out of the house and you find yourself doing the exact things that your mom taught you to do and responding the way your mom taught you to respond.
Which is awesome.
And all of a sudden you go, okay, I guess she wasn't as foolish after all. I guess it kind of made sense, but that was the beginning of me recognizing the power of positive input into me and into my life.
I want to ask one more Different World question before we get to Star Trek Lower Decks. So we talk about your foundation, which I've donated to in the past. So I'm really familiar with it.
All right, come on.
Bam, bam, bam.
And we gonna get some more.
Go get some more.
We gonna get some more.
You don't get around this young lady here and she don't pull the cash out of it. Money is money, okay? Now, your character.
Yes.
Why did people gravitate to it? Because I gravitated to your character on Different World. Why do you think people really were enamored? I want to use the word enamored.
My character was someone who had decided she wasn't done yet. And where some people may chip it in, cash in their chips and say, well, look, I'm such an age. This is all there is for me, and keep it moving as best as they can. But Jaleesa decided, you know what? No, there's more I want to do, and I'm going to get the tools I need in order to do it. And if it means going back to school, that's what I'm going to do. Which is one of the things we say in our foundation, the A New Day Foundation, is I am my best investment. And that's what Jaleesa chose. So I think a lot of people see that in themselves or want to see that in themselves. Right. And besides that, it wasn't common to see a brown-skinned sister very comfortable in her own skin on television on a weekly basis. And then we got blessed by adding Charnel Brown to the cast that was even darker skinned than I was. But I was there to reflect a group of women in particular, and for men who like brown sisters, you know, to say, okay, we got some of this too. So we had some of everything on our show. So I am so grateful that, you know, people, as you said, were enamored with me and my character. As they are today. As they are today. And people are still watching the show today. Black don't crack. We bend just a teeny bit. It'll bend, but it ain't gonna break.
You're not breaking. I'm Jason Dawnn. You're not breaking.
There you go.
You may not even be bending, okay?
You know, well, thank you.
You know, animation has started 30 years ago, but now you're still in the heart of it. Futurama, The Simpsons, you know, and now Star Trek Lower Decks. Tell us about that.
Well, that journey continued, like you said, and gratefully now, in addition to the ones you've mentioned, I'm on over a dozen TV series now. Housebroken, Craig of the Creek, Fairly Odd Parents, Apple and Onion.
I love Fairly Odd Parents.
There you go, Fairly Odd Parents, Karma's World, Ludacris's series, Karma's World, and I play, you know,
that's
X-Men.
Crazy. Just out there, just forcing your behind.
Yeah, Hearthstone Trolls. I mean, all of it. Mortal Kombat. You know, and then some. Yeah, I know. It's fantastic because I get to voice and bring to life characters that you wouldn't hire me visually to play. You wouldn't hire me to play a 7-year-old boy, or a 90-year-old grandmother.
Let me hear that 7-year-old boy voice.
Oh, you know. Oh my goodness, this is hecka cool, man. Oh, this is so fly. Yeah. So anyway, so doing things like that, and when I got Star Trek,
I would never be bored with you.
No.
I would never. You be saying, Richard, shut up, leave me alone.
In all kind of different languages and all kind of different accents, you know. I would never tell you shut up and leave me alone. It's like, hey, Rashad, is what you're wearing today? Oh, you're looking kind of sexy. Oh, my gosh.
Who would get bored with this? Money, you're talking. You know, and so the lower deck, you know, you play Carol Freeman, right? That was
Captain Carol Freeman.
Which is very important to put the captain in front of that, because that shows leadership.
It shows leadership, and in the world of Star Trek, in the franchise, it's me and Avery Brooks.
Yes.
As black captains, him as a male, him as me as the female black captain in this legacy of excellence and diversity. And I've been a fan of the show since the very first series came on with Captain Kirk and Spock and Sulu and all of those people. And to see Nichelle Nichols on camera as a child made me hopeful that there was hope for me. Because she was brown skinned and she was excellent and she was a badass. She was fiery. She could hold her own with anybody. She was my hero, especially in the 60s, where when you were watching the news, all you saw was people of color being beaten, posed, chased by dogs, marching, picketing. It was
and she had that kiss in the Shatner.
The juxtaposition of where diversity stood in Gene Roddenberry's world as opposed to the real world really made me hopeful that we can do this. We can respect everyone's excellence. We can deal with each other with integrity and with inclusion and get it done, and it'll be all right. It really will. So now, all these years later, for Nichelle to become one of my dearest friends and mentors and get to meet some of these people that I grew up idolizing, and I did not know that what I was auditioning for was Star Trek.
Okay.
Because they changed the name, we had to sign NDAs, and when they finally hired all of us and we get to the table read and turn our scripts over, we all were like, whoa, stop, what, really? Star Trek, for real? And myself, Tawny Newsome, the star of the show, Jack Quaid, Eugene Cordero, Noel Wells.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Do you ever go to those Comic-Cons?
I do. And I get to meet and engage with so many of the people that watch our show. It's insane, the love that we get for our show, and the people that say, if you've ever, I'm not going to give away too much, but on our show, myself and the star, Tawny Newsome, her character's name is Beckett. Beckett Mariner.
Okay.
And she and I do not get along. It's like any other teenage mother and daughter kind of relationship. But as the seasons go on, you watch changes and growth, not in just our relationship, but throughout the entire crew. So no, I'm a different kind of captain.
Okay. You know, it's so funny. I was watching The Boys.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm sitting up there watching The Boys, and then you,
And there I am.
girl, I like
You did not jump up with a high pitched voice. Did you have a high pitched voice?
I'm done. I had a high pitched voice. And first of all, I'm going like, is that done? And then you go through your credits, you read it finally,
Yes.
you go to the cat. That's done.
Yeah.
It's fascinating to be a fan of someone, and then you see them in a show that you don't expect to see them in a show. Not saying you can't do that show,
Right.
but when you was in it, in that role that was playing,
Right.
and it was like that. I'm just telling you, that's what you do to people. You have a fan base that gets excited, that roots for you, loves to see you, and the fact that being on my show allows people to understand a tremendous career is what a force you are.
Thank you.
In so many different levels as you started when you was a kid. You still are a quadruple threat now.
Thank you.
And to be able to, I always talk about people with careers, because you always can jump out in a different world. Different world was your launching pad to
To the
start,
world.
right?
To the world, right.
Fast forward 20 years, 30 years, what have you done? What's sustainable? And that's what I call a career. And
Right.
you have a career. And you know what I'm talking about, because
I
you
do.
can jump out there and it just stops.
Right.
And
right.
you've been able to keep moving forward. Tell us about that journey.
You know what? Again, you've got to basically quiet the naysayers by just showing up
Right.
and doing the work and being able to work with people and to bring excellence to it. And I do my best to always do my best. So whether it's 911, Grey's Anatomy, Veronica Mars,
Throw 'em
80
out there,
Day
girl.
Now,
Throw 'em out there,
any
girl.
of
Come on
those
now.
shows, recording with any of those people that I started to mention before, whether it's Patrice Rushen, Everett Harp, the list just goes on and on. Grover Washington Jr. I wrote and recorded for him and Nancy Wilson, as well as doing my own independent CD. All of it is just grace to God that he keeps opening doors and giving me what I need to walk through them successfully, and then having people like you who will jump up with a high-pitched voice and say, oh my God, that's right, that's her, and make room for everything that I do, because
Now-
only more is coming.
Now,
Yes,
we're
sir.
going to talk about a New Day Foundation. I
Right.
made a donation. Okay?
Yes, you will.
Many years ago.
Okay.
And I'm pretty sure that money is spent well.
Long time.
Long time. So
Long
that
time.
means that she's back. If she's back, that means donation time out of Rushion
There you go.
McDonald,
There
which
you
is
go.
no problem. Tell everybody about New Day Foundation.
A New Day Foundation is basically the ongoing work that I've been doing for almost 50 for almost 50 years. Since I graduated from elementary school, it has been important to me to go back and give back. Because like I said, my teachers poured into me when I was young to help me find a brighter path for
Right.
myself and my talent. So that's always been important to me. About 8-9 years ago, I wanted to do national programs. And up until then, I had been doing all of this on my own. So
Right.
in order to get corporate support, public support, I had to form a nonprofit. So that is the A New Day Foundation, which is a play on my name, Dawnn, A New Day, where we want to be a new day of opportunity, so that where you were yesterday is not where you have to end up today, nor be tomorrow. So we do programmatic services for teens, teen boys, mentors, teen girls, sisters hangout. And we do an annual conference called Focused and Fit, FIT, which stands for Financially and Technology Informed for a Different World. And at that conference, we give out scholarships anywhere from 6 to 12 of $2,000 each and a new laptop. That is for high school juniors and seniors and their parents, and college freshmen and sophomores, that 4-year demographic.
Right.
And now we sponsor 2 year-round school programs, one called HBCU Heroes. So for your HBCU audience that is listening, we have monthly workshops where any HBCU student can join in virtually with tools for entrepreneurship, career planning, economic wisdom, and marketing skills. And then we have programs in 2 middle schools and 2 high schools in Long Beach. And we partner with an organization called Inspiration 52 to do that year round program. So in everything we do, which is why your support is really so crucial, all jokes aside, is because everything we do free of charge. So all of our fundraising is to buy the workshop materials, to hire buses if we need to transport kids anywhere to any of these events, meals, workshop materials, admission costs, all of it. That's what it is for.
What's the website? So
The
if people are
website-
interested in donating.
The website is www.anewdayfoundation.net. www.anewdayfoundation.net. And if you have any questions, just email us. Info, I-N-F-O.
I thought you about to give
There
out
you
your
go.
number.
No,
I'm about to
info.
say, oh, she
at
crazy. She
info
crazy.
at anewdayfoundation.net. And all of that information comes directly to us. So all of our programs, we can take it, as you mentioned before, anywhere across the country, and we've supported programs and done programs as far away as Ranchi, India, and Guyana, South America, which is where my family is from, and New York, Chicago, Florida, Dallas, LA, you name it, we have been there and are happy to come back and create programs anywhere we are able.
Wow. I want to thank you for coming on my show. Money Making
pleasure.
Conversations Masterclass. I will be making a contribution again.
Thank
and I'm going
you.
to tell you something. When you say this, she will come back. She tracked me down. Rashawn, did I get my check? Did I get my check? Which I did give the check to her. It was kind of got lost in the mail or something like that. But again, it's a blessing to actually
Thank
sit
you.
down and talk to you in person. And you're special.
Thank you.
But you know that. You don't survive in this industry and then have the relationships where people will call you for work instead of auditioning for work.
Yeah.
That's a reputation, and that's something that people need to understand. This business and anything in life is built on relationships.
It's true.
And also relationships that allow you to grow as a person. And you've grown tremendously before our eyes, and she's a star. Iconic. I did right.
Thank you.
Iconic. And she's Tina Turner mama. Thank you.
My pleasure, my pleasure. Thank you so much.
Dawnn Lewis or Dawnn Money Lewis?